Good evening and welcome to the Star Chamber Show live podcast. It is episode number 472 for those of you keeping score. And it is a nice night here in the bluegrass here from Lexington, Kentucky, where I, Stephen Zimmer, am broadcasting to you from. Of course, the Star Chamber Show is affiliated with the Imaginarium Conventions. We always keep you up to date on all the news and developments with Imaginarium. And please do follow us on our social media channels. Star Chamber Show can be found on Facebook, also on Blue Sky, and also on X and Instagram. So follow the show directly on those channels. Of course, we always do put information out in the Imaginarium channels on the shows, but it is great if you would follow those directly and spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Yeah, our listenership has been growing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for spreading the word and getting this show even stronger. Yeah, we've definitely been being listened to on all the platforms like Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, iHeartRadio, everywhere. And of course, the day after the live show airs, we do distribute to all those main platforms. And looks like tonight, yeah, joining me from Indiana is the wonderful, the vivacious, the loquacious, and the audacious Holly Phillippe, all the way from Indiana. Hey, Holly,
Haha, I am here.
there you are,
I am
on
here.
time, pretty
Uh,
much. I'm
I know
impressed.
I was even on time and I'm in a different state. How about that?
It is impressive. That is impressive. Take a bow. Take a bow. And the chat room is people are coming in the chat room. Definitely great to see everyone there. Looks like we got some great folks already. We got award-winning author and screenwriter Carol Preflattish, and also award-winning screenwriter, filmmaker, and author Amy Lee McCorkle is in
Hello,
the
hello.
house, and others are coming in, and tonight's guest is already in. So yes, we'll be getting to tonight's guest, which I am really looking forward to tonight's show. This is going to be a very, very fun one. It's a returning guest, one that I'm very excited about because it has a big development. Big development we get to talk about tonight, and so that's a little bit of a teaser for you all. But Holly has been running around Indiana today, but on my front, however, it has been a great day. We finally got to launch. We were hoping to launch Monday, but we still needed some tech issues to work out because, believe it or not, this is going to sound very bougie, folks, but the Imaginarium Convention actually has a new custom registration database. Yes, our own special custom database has been
Yes,
formed
which
to
is going to make
streamline
Holly's life a
make
lot
Holly's life
simpler.
easier. So it got working finally, and so we were able to launch today. And thank you, everyone, because this has been the best launch day we have ever had. I mean, there is there is some excitement out there. I'm telling you. Yeah, when Holly
Well,
gets
we
around,
got people that I don't even know that's
yeah,
never been asking
brand new people.
questions and
Mhm.
how do I get vendor tables
Yep,
and how does this work and blah blah blah
yep.
and yeah, so that's
Coming
exciting.
in, and yeah, there's a flurry today, and the guest applications. Holly, when she checks, Holly checks that out. She's gonna go, oh, because we
Oh,
got a bunch today, and
really? I
yeah,
haven't checked them yet. I've been running
right out
around.
of the gate, and we also
Nice.
got yeah, lots of vendors, and I noticed new names. Yeah, people getting event tickets, all that stuff. But yeah, it was the best kickoff we've ever had, and I should mention there's a reason for that because every year we do offer the early bird discounts. And
Yep.
so these are really good discounts, folks. If you plan on coming to Imaginarium, it makes total sense to get your stuff anchored now. Take advantage of the savings. We have vendor tables in both Creatives Alley and Main Expo Hall available on early bird discount. Also, event tickets. I should mention that we are only offering 20 spots total in Main Expo Hall and 20 in Creatives Alley at the discounted rate. So once we have 20 discounted spaces taken up in each of those areas, it will revert to the regular rate. So if you want a vendor table and get the discount, you need to do that like ASAP because we are getting a lot of folks already reserving those. And we also have the panel. Obviously, I mentioned that too. The guest applications for those wanting to be panelists this year, those are open. And then also, and last but not least, sponsorships are available now. individual patrons, and also we have three main levels of sponsorship this year. We simplified it a little bit, just to a gold and a silver and a supporter sponsorship level. So please do check those options out. The supporter one is for those who may not be able to make it here physically, but want to sponsor and support the convention and have that kind of presence. The other two are definitely good sponsorship packages for getting a presence throughout the year and at Imaginarium. So check those out if you get a chance, because sponsorships make a big difference. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping us, kick this off strong. Yeah, it's nice after 13 years, this being our 13th year, to get a strong kickoff. So, but any notes from you, Holly, as far as you are concerned with
Well, I
this
just want to
year?
let people know that I took a week, a little bit of time off when I got back from Imaginarium. I had some health issues going on. I did go get cortisone shots in my knees, so I wanted to let everybody know. Don't worry, I am walking around wonderfully compared to what I was at Imaginarium. I know now I should have got them before ever I ever walked in the door at Imaginarium, and I wouldn't have been in the shape I was. So yeah, I'm doing good now. I had to come up to Indiana. I got some stuff going on with mom, and yeah, I'll have to come back in a couple weeks. But yeah, I have to let Stephen know about all that good stuff. But she got to have surgery on her finger. So yeah,
Oh boy,
always
excitement!
something exciting. Always
Always
something
something
exciting.
exciting.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I plan to try to get a little work done tomorrow and Friday, so I will be answering some emails. I know I'm backlogged a little bit, and yeah, apparently I'm going to have to take a look at um, panelists that signed up today.
Yep. Yes, you are.
So, and I
It's
don't
building
I
up
don't
quick.
respond. I usually don't respond if it's just one or two this early on. I wait till I get a batch of at least like 10, and then I'll send stuff out. But yeah, I'm excited. And if you guys have any suggestions for panels or workshops, yeah, please let me know um, early, and
Mhm.
I'll discuss that and make a log and keep track of all that too going in. Because remember, I can't take everybody's, because this year we had almost 200 guests, and I had so many wonderful workshops presented.
Mhm.
I mean, excellent workshops, and I picked what I thought would be most helpful to our attendees that would be there, and most attended and all this. But there was still a lot I would have liked to add it. But yeah,
Yeah.
we got 3 days, and we
Yep.
we did
Yeah.
over 130 panels and workshops. So yeah, and we've had people propose a fourth day, but I'm just not ready for that
No,
right now.
no, not
So
not
I'm
not not
not even
not not
putting
right
that
now.
into the
I was
atmosphere.
gonna say, yeah, there were several people that talked to me on that Sunday about doing a
Yeah,
fourth day, and they
yeah.
were just so
Maybe
sad that
maybe
it
in the
was
future,
over, but
or
not
what we're looking at
with a
is a
bigger staff.
possibility.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking at the possibility of maybe down the road, maybe 6 months, out from Imaginarium, 5 or 6 months out, actually doing like either a virtual or like a work, workshop thing, a 1 day thing near home, near Lexington or something like that. So yeah, we got some things up our sleeves. So keep an eye out.
Yeah, but no, Imaginarium will stay 3 days, because I'll make that abundantly clear that we are
Yes.
can't handle a 4-day event,
No, and we're
but there
not
will
doing any
be.
more of the dual. One year we did virtual and physical. Never
Yeah,
again.
we're
Never
not
again.
well, not
No
never
more.
say never, unless because it could be the case that someday we have a massive team, and we have an AV team that's large and capable,
It
but
was a
yeah,
nightmare.
but right
Yeah,
now,
but
never
then Holly
never
still
say
has to
never.
do all that programming and handle it.
Well
And it was a
well,
lot. And I said
yeah.
never again.
Well, as
We'll,
of
we'll
now.
stick.
Yeah, as of
Yeah.
now, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Things change when you get larger budgets and bigger
Well, when
staff.
we get to the Gen
So
Con
let's
level, and we can
yeah,
pay a
no.
team,
Yeah,
they can have at it.
something like that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can't do it. Yeah, with right now,
Uh-uh.
it's too
Uh-uh.
much logistically. But I do
No.
want to get in before we get too deep in, because we have our guest coming up in about 5 minutes here, and I do have to get to the sponsors of tonight's show. I do want to say real quickly, follow up on last week's LaGrange Book Fair, and it was fantastic. We had Tony on last week talking about it. I attended with Bentley and Addison helping me out. met a lot of readers and many returning ones of mine and new ones, and got to talk to a lot of great authors that as well among those that were exhibiting and attending. But it was a great day. Staff was fantastic. They're so hospitable. Just another, just a really enjoyable event, and it was the largest one yet attendance wise. Tony definitely grew this year with the LaGrange Book Fair. Excellent event. I've always recommended it, and definitely it's making great strides, and everything about it was just wonderful, just wonderful. So I had a great time, and it's great to see everybody. Got to see. Speaking of Carol Preflatish, did get to see her, and she even had evidence bags to send home to Holly and Beck, and
Yes,
they were
thank you,
so
Carol. That was so
excited.
cool.
They were so excited from her
And I want you to know I put
mysteries.
the 2
Yes.
stickers on my laptop, so
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And that was a blast. And the food trucks were great. The staff was so helpful, and just a winner all around. And Tony already has the dates for next year's set because, of course, it's the first Saturday in August. So the next LaGrange Book Fair will be August the 1st for those of you all putting your things in your calendar. But yeah, it's just 2 weeks after Imaginarium. So yeah, for me, it
and
was
I'm
a
telling you, things
oh
go
boy,
quick.
turnaround. What a turnaround for me doing an event 2 weeks after Imaginarium. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was fun. I didn't have to worry about anything. And
And
I did
people,
not
let me
have a
tell you, a
cane.
year comes
Did not
quick.
have a cane.
It
Yeah,
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 yeah, year comes quick, so it's good to get everything
yeah,
squared away now. That way you don't have to worry about it later.
yeah.
So
And I
it come quick.
did not have a cane, as you all saw. The foot has healed up,
No.
and I'm walking normally. So so much better. But right now, we'll shift over and put the spotlight on those at Broad Night Show. And yes, quest to get Sandy Lander to Imaginarium 2026 is underway. Yeah, because boy, I tell you, she's had such trouble and unfortunate things the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Sandy's with us all the way, and here is a brand new spot from her. So kick back and check this out.
Start Chamber listeners already know that author Sandy Lender offers you a variety of spec fiction and epic fantasy adventures to help you escape reality. Did you know she also offers positive, quirky book discussions and reviews on her BookTube channel, Sandy Says Read? Check out the Sandy Says Read channel on YouTube for over 600 book chats to entertain you. The channel includes the Indie Book Spotlight and the DIY for Creatives playlists, along with others to help you find videos and essays that pique your literary interests. Subscribe for free to the Sandy Says Read channel in time for the Monday night upload and join the community where our motto is, you can always find something good in a book.
Sandy Says Read. That's right.
That's right.
Great channel. Highly recommend it. Her content is excellent, and she deserves to be a massive BookTube channel. So she deserves it. She really does. She puts some serious work into it. Follow her. Check out the content, and yeah, great stuff. And the other folks bringing it tonight's show are the fine folks at Per Bostet Publications. I was just chatting with Sarah today, as a matter of fact. So yeah, hi Sarah, if you're listening. But yeah, they're some of my favorite people in the universe, and hopefully we're going to get to actually visit with them in October. It looks like, if I can, pending the things with Holly going on. But here we go. Per Bostet Publications is a small press based in the Louisville metro area, specializing in speculative fiction and other outside-the-box books. With 40 titles in print and ebook formats and a handful of audiobooks, Per Bostet offers a little bit of everything. Check out Frenemies in Space, Marian Allen's new science fiction story collection featuring return character Smart Mouth Connie Phelan. Or try Michael Dabney's latest David Blaze mystery, A Deadly Game, a prequel set in 1984 Philly. You can find these titles and more at perbostetpublications.com, at Amazon, or you can find the press in person at Kentucky and Indiana book fairs and conventions. Per Bostet Publications, where timeless tales unfold. And yes, they were great neighbors. I was right next to the literary triumvirate of T. Lee Harris, Sarah Marion, and Marian Allen at the LaGrange Book Fair. Great folks, and had a blast. And we are right on time for bringing our guest on. Imagine that, Holly. We are spot on today. So yes, I'm going to roll right into the introductions. And tonight's guest is a returning guest. I'm very excited to have aboard with us tonight. She is an award winning journalist and author, and also the co founder of the Blah, Blah, Blah Writers Group that is based here in Lexington, Kentucky. And tonight, she'll be talking about a new edition, an exciting new project that has launched this July with Heritage Link Publishing. So, bringing on to the show for the second time, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome aboard Liz Carey. And Liz, your microphone should be on.
Hello, hello.
Let's see. We should have you. We should have you on.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see. There's the mic.
There you are.
There I am. Hello, hello. How are you today?
I had a slight delay when I hit the button to clicking on the mic, so I hate that when it happens, but it worked. So
we are all living in a brand new age when we're all, worried about our microphones these days,
yes.
correct?
That is true, but it's great to have you on the show. And I was telling you in the email I sent, I loved meeting your son at Imaginarium. It was great and it was just happenstance that I met him. We happened to be sitting right near each other when Steve Alton was doing his virtual interview, and he happened to just come in, and we started talking, and he had handed me his card, and I was like, oh my God, I knew who he was right there. And he got rewarded. He actually found, I think it was like $8 that was on the floor. So it paid.
Oh my God! Yeah. So. He had a blast. He came home and he came back to the office, and he's like, "Mom, we've got to do this next year." I'm like, yeah, okay. And he goes, "They told me that they're going to send me all of the information. We have got to do this next year." So I'm like, okay, we're in. We are totally in.
That is very exciting, and what was really cool about July is as well, because not only Imaginarium, but you launched a new publishing company, and that is the featured topic tonight with Heritage Link Press. So first of all, congratulations, welcome to the publishing community in our area and across the nation. That's great. I'll always love to see good people, getting into publishing, because there's enough bad ones. So,
well, thank you. It was, because I turned 60 on July 20th, and doesn't everybody just decide I'm going to take on a headache of an industry just for my 60th birthday?
Just for the heck of it, yeah.
Just for the heck of it. I'm going to give myself a birthday present and start a new business. Ta-da!
Why not?
And in publishing, which we don't have to tell our audiences.
Lord have mercy.
One of the more difficult ones to do these days. The book world's not the easiest to navigate. We all well know that, being independents.
Right.
It's definitely an adventure sometimes. But yes, taking on not only a new business, but one that's a publishing company in 2025 in the independent area. So yeah, you have definite courage too.
Yeah, well, I've spent a lot of time having people throughout my life tell me you can't do that, and I've never listened to them before. So when they said this is probably not something you wanted to do, I was like, oh, that seems to have always worked for me in the past. Let's go ahead and do it. No, I am. It's Heritage Link Press, and it's named after the road that I grew up on and the road that my sons grew up on. And my sons, they helped me a lot with this in different ways. And I've been a reporter, and for the past 10 years, a freelance writer, and I teach at the Carnegie. And one of the things that I always have people come tell me is, I can't get published unless I have publishing credits, and I can't get credits unless I publish. So what am I supposed to do? And when we did the Blah 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 Writers Group, we started doing these anthologies so that people would be able to have clips and things that they could send to publishers and say, yeah, I'm already a published writer.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were doing more with the Carnegie, we started the ghostwriting program there at the Carnegie. I had been working with Story Terrace and was just very disappointed with some of the things that they did as a company. And so I thought, I can do this on my own, and entered into this program with the Carnegie. For anybody who's not familiar, the Carnegie Center for Literacy and Learning in Lexington.
Fabulous.
Yeah, we started this because it's a way for people that were coming to them who wanted to have somebody write their stuff for them, and a way for writers like me to write stuff and get paid, because as writers, that's always a benefit and a bonus when you get paid for the stuff you love to do.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the people that I was talking to were older people that wanted to write their family histories or write stories about the stories that they had heard passed down through their family, genealogist or whatever, or they wanted to write down their family story to give to their kids and their grandkids so they could let them know where they came from. And we would get through with these huge projects, and at the end of it, they're like, okay, well, what do I do? And I'm like, well, you've got the book. And they're like, but I don't know where to get it published. I don't know how to do all of that. So that's what we sort of came up with. We've got the ability to take these pieces that, may not be a 400-page science fiction novel, and help people get them published. But we've also got the ability to help people with their, murder mystery or their science fiction novel or their fantasy romance, and help them to get it published too. And that's really what it is at the end of the day. I just have such this passion that I want to see people be able to do what I've been able to do. And there's something, I know that it sounds so goofy, but there's something about getting that box and opening it up and seeing your babies sitting there right in front of you, these, books that you have worked sometimes years on, just sitting there in front of you, and knowing that this one thing that you wanted to do, you were actually able to finish and complete, and here it is, and you can share it with the world, right? Because we're not, all of us are, even I know we're writers, but we're all artists, right? We don't write all of our stuff so that we can put it into a file folder and hide it away from the rest of the world. We write these things so that people can read them and share what we, come up with in our crazy little brain pans. We just want to share all of these stories and these characters that we've come up with and these situations that we've come up with. So this is all just a way to help people to do that. And because of the focus on helping people tell their family stories is the way it started. That's where the heritage and link comes from, because it's sort of like a double thing, the streets that we grew up on, but also, being able to take that heritage from your family and link it to your own kids. And me being able to take what I do. You got to meet my youngest. My oldest is Mason. Is he kind of looks like a cross between Shaggy from Scooby-Doo and an Abercrombie and Fitch model.
Nice.
And he, when I kept left, and I'm taking off and I'm going on my own, and he, I said, I'm just going to be a freelancer and all this stuff. And he goes, you go do what you need to do, Mom. I'm like, well, thanks, honey. And he goes, you go out and be, like Stephen King or whoever it is that is a woman who does whatever it is that you do. But yeah, being able to share this with my guys is really, really important as well. So that's sort of Heritage Link in a nutshell, an overview. It is kind of exciting. It is kind of fun. We've already published our first book. There's a woman who is a missionary. She grew up in Eastern Kentucky, and then she wrote a whole book about all of her adventures in Cambodia and Indonesia and Mongolia and the Philippines, all of the things that they went through, and being able to see that look on her face when she finally, at like I think she's in her 80s, able to
Wow.
open up that book and see, or open up that box and see those books, this thing that she's been wanting to do for years and years and years and years. It's just, it's
It's
a
amazing.
yeah, it's a great feeling.
It is, because it is a lasting, um, it's a lasting piece of the person once you
Mhm.
write that book, and it's out there forever, you know,
Yeah.
and somebody could always get a hold of it somewhere
Yeah.
somehow. And 100
Yeah.
years down the road, it's still around somewhere. So yeah, there's still copies floating around, and we've got the cloud now. We've got, so yeah, I mean, you're leaving a lasting legacy.
Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm just, gosh, well, you know how it is when you write books. Yesterday I finished up my latest book, which is
Congrats.
well,
All
thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
It's Murder, Mining, Moonshine, and Mayhem: Kentucky's Dark History.
I
Um, yeah,
Love that title.
love it.
it's all the fun things that I love to talk about, and
Yes.
not so much moonshining and mining, but there is a lot of really bad stuff that happens in there, so it's always kind of like, oh, something I can dig my teeth into. And I know from experience what it's like when you get this and you're like, oh my God, what do I do with it? But at the same time, um, we're able to take those things and help people to turn it into something people want to buy, and
Right.
that's, again, as writers, being able to get money for what we do is always a good thing.
Yep.
That's
Definitely.
right.
And it's a truth that once you reach the end of, the writing portion of it, it's very often a very solitary journey, but after that, it does take a lot of the hard work begins. A lot of it's very daunting for a lot of newer authors or authors that are being published for the first time, and at that, at the end of getting that first draft done, often that's when the team is needed, and
Mhm.
I see that's what the structure is that you have coming together with Mason and Kevin and everything, and you yourself. I mean, you got a support team that's
Right.
coming into this and helping authors, and like you said, they could come in at, they could be writing their first novel at age 70, and
Mhm.
there's many cases of authors that have debuted, in a later year of life, who've gone on to be very successful, extremely successful, and really really hit stride. So yeah, you just never know where something's going to really pop, but the structure is what's important, and having somebody like you that's got all the elements. You're a teacher, you're a mentor. You yourself are an author, and you've ghostwritten, you've had your own work published, you've got a lot of things together. So I mean, you bring so many elements to it, and you get the process, and
Right.
that's what's invaluable, I think, for authors, to have somebody to guide them through that minefield, because it's
Right.
not easy. Yeah, not easy once you get to
Um,
that launching
Yeah.
point.
And there are some
and
people.
there's a lot of, well, I was going to say, there's a lot of, you'll find this out if you don't already know about them, but there's a lot of these vanity presses out there that take advantage of
Mhm.
these
Oh yeah.
authors, these baby authors that don't know no better, people that's never been published, people that, and they think, oh well, if I give this person $10,000, they'll get my book out, and take,
Mhm.
and they get taken advantage of and swindled. And we have prevented so many people over the years from getting swindled at, where we've done guest appearances and stuff like that, and we're like, oh no, 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 don't do that. If
Right.
you're going to go with the press, do that, or self-publish. Do not go to a vanity press,
Yeah,
and that's
go to a place that does
danger. Yeah,
authors self-publishing services, that does author services. There's some that, yeah, that definitely present wrong, and boy, I tell you, I could share I could share on the air with you just nightmares that I've seen. So, I mean, you are
yeah,
filling a role here in our publishing community, in terms of helping authors that are self-published, being self-published, or even if you're handling it more like a certain situation as a traditional publisher, but it's needed. Yeah, because
Right.
yes,
oh man,
that
there's some predators out there. So
Well, I mean, I don't have any aspirations to be a Putnam, or
right,
Penguin. I'm not going to be that. But
right,
those people are not taking as many manuscripts and
No,
turning them
no.
into books as they were before, because there's
Right.
people who are not reading the books.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna sit there and charge somebody $5,000 or $6,000 to come up with 20 books that they're going to give to their grandkids. I just did that for a
Mhm.
guy. I didn't charge him $5,000. I don't mean to say that, but I just, he basically read his entire life into a tape recorder for me, and I took all of it, rewrote it, we laid it out, we put in pictures, we made it look nice, and we printed
Yeah.
off 25 copies for him. He was thrilled. I took
Nice.
all
Awesome.
of the recordings and put them onto a little thumb drive so you could give it to it and stuff. I mean, that's
That's awesome. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I think what we want to be is sort of not give us your manuscript. We're going to rewrite it for you. We're going to take all of this stuff, and oh, by the way, it's going to cost you $10,000, and you have to buy
Right.
500 books, or
Right.
whatever.
Mhm.
Um,
And more and more and more.
and
Yeah,
more
yeah.
and
Yeah.
more and more. Oh, and if you
Yep.
if you have corrections, every time you have a correction, it's going to be $400. That sort of stuff. I'm just
Uh-huh.
like,
Uh-huh.
but if you just want to have your small book published and get 50 copies of it, we will do that. We will help you find the most cost-effective way to do that.
Mhm.
But if you want to have it distributed, you want somebody to do all the marketing. I spent 10 years as a marketing director. I mean, I'm old. I've done a lot of shit.
I feel it. I feel it, man. Well, see, our
I was
thing
gonna say,
is, we
I do
love to
wanna
see
Holly, I do
we
wanna
love
say
to see our authors, succeed, and a lot of our
yeah.
authors, they would love to do this as a full-time job, or they do it as a part-time job, and that's great. But we can't do 100% of the marketing. That's just not
Mhm.
possible for a small medium press. We can't do that. That's it's not even feasible because we don't have the time, for one thing. We don't have the money to pay a big marketing team, right? So,
Mhm.
you've got to take a lot upon your own. If you want to sell a bunch of books, that's your intention. You've got to market
Yeah.
yourself. You got to
Right.
put
You gotta
yourself
learn
out there, and
from
you got to
yeah.
market
Yeah, you
yourself.
gotta put
And
yourself out there.
you definitely got to do that. If you just want, like you said, 50 copies for your family or whatever, that's fine too. But yeah, if you do want to, get out there and sell a bunch of
Mhm.
copies and do, a little side hustle and have a part-time job or want to make it a full, yeah, you have to help market. You have
Mhm.
to market yourself.
Mhm.
That's the way it is, whether you're an
Right.
introvert or not. And a lot of authors, are, but you have to get out of yourself a little bit if you're going. You can't just write a book and say, here, it's
Right.
going to sell. Here,
Yeah.
publisher,
Yeah.
sell my book.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen, right? It's
Right.
very rare. It's a diamond in a rough, but I mean, it's a 1 in a million shot. It's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to
Right.
go play my guitar and be a
Yeah.
rock star. Well, your shot is piss poor, and it's just so
Well,
Yeah.
I
well,
mean, seriously,
odds
you
are
you
tough.
gotta
Yeah.
be
Let's just
you
say
gotta
odds are
be
tough. Yeah.
realistic with your goals. But if you do want to make a nice living, you do want to make a little side income or make it your full-time job. You don't want to
Yeah.
be a millionaire. You just like to do this because that's what your passion is and you love. You can do that, but you have to market yourself. You
Yeah, you
do.
gotta get out there.
You
Right.
got
That's
to get
why
out there.
I like to say, Liz, that's why authors are always exhausted after events because you have all these,
Mhm.
people that are natural introverts having to become extroverts for a few hours, and then boom,
Mm.
It's a lot.
the post-show crash.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what
Well,
always happens.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
because I've done all of those things.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
just because of having the books, but also because I used to, when I was a reporter in Anderson, South Carolina, I was kind of the face of the newspaper, so
Oh, yeah.
I had to be out there and talk to
Yep.
people.
Mhm.
Generally speaking, that's not my favorite thing to do. And when you when you write a book about rural monsters, myths, and legends, you get a lot of people coming up to you to talk to you about how they saw Bigfoot. I mean, I don't know how to tell
Yeah.
you.
I bet. I
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
Have you, and some of it is great.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, have you ever heard of the Rougarou? Have you ever heard of this? And I've seen this. And, somebody turned me on to the Pope Bridge, the Goat Man of Pope Lick
Oh,
Bridge.
isn't that
Yeah.
cool? Do you know
Yeah.
about the Kentucky goblins?
Yes, I actually,
Yeah.
I used to talk to them before when they had Planet Weird, and I tried to get them down to South Carolina to bring the Traveling Museum of the Occult and Paranormal, but then they did Hellier, and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome, which turned me on to Indrid Cold. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
I love all of it. I'm not saying I believe in it or I don't believe in it. I just love all of it.
It's
Yeah.
cool. The whole
Yeah,
folklore
Yeah.
yeah,
aspect is
Uh,
neat, and the regional
right,
folklore. You know,
right.
there's
aspect,
it
yeah.
might be similar monsters, but
Mhm.
it's always a little different spin, right?
Right.
Depending on what region, and that's so cool.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
there's hardly a county in the United States that does not have a crybaby bridge. I mean,
Mhm.
they're everywhere. But it being as a writer and an author, I've been there. I know what it's like to go to a store, have these things set up for you. You walk in, you're crazy, like scared. You don't know what to expect. You have to put on a show to do your little book talk, or somebody books you in the middle of a Costco and nobody shows up or stops at the table. I've had that happen,
Mhm.
and it's I don't even it's not it's just so it's defeating, you know? And that's like standing on the corner of, Main and Vine and saying, "Hey, buy my book." It's stupid.
Mhm.
There's just
Right.
no reason for it. I mean, I've talked to people who, authors who've called me and said, I just give me your advice. And they'll say, well, this person, they charged me $10,000. They published my book. Um, I'm in X County in Tennessee, and they scheduled my book launch in X County in Kentucky, 2.5 hours away. And then when I asked them about the proceeds from the launch, they said, well, those were their books, so I wouldn't get any of the profits from those.
Mhm.
And maybe 6 people showed up to the book launch that they traveled
Oh,
3.5 hours to go to. And I'm like, that's just ridiculous. You should have had
Yep.
somebody there, somebody on your side. And that's,
Yep.
I'm,
I've heard
right.
those stories. Yeah, more than
yeah,
once, many, many
Yeah.
times.
yeah. But, if
Mm.
that's not what somebody wants to do, then that's
Mhm.
not what we're going to do. We'll help
Right.
Right.
them if they want, something simple or something hard or something in between. I just want to make sure that people have the opportunity to do this
Mhm.
because it's so freaking cool.
Yep. It is.
This is
It really
it
is.
is it really is. There's just something about. I mean, I've ghost written like 12 books. I've have my own kids book called My Little Zombie that's no longer in print. Probably need to do that again. Now that I know a publisher. Um,
Hey, I know a guy. Yeah.
I know a
That's
guy.
what that's why I always tell people. They're like, I don't know a publisher. I'm like, hey, I know a guy. Yeah.
I know somebody. Yeah.
Right. Now that I have all these things, I mean, I I remember sitting there talking to Kevin one day, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I just don't like telling people that I'm a reporter." And he's like, "Mom, you're a freaking author. Why do you downplay that?" And I was like, it didn't really sort of hit me until he said it that, yeah, I am. I've got books. I've got all of these books that I've written, and I'm like,
Right.
"Oh, okay. Okay. Okay."
Guess that makes me an author. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
and one of my books I think has been out for
Objectively.
10 years, and I think I've made maybe $1,000 off of it. But, still.
Mhm.
Still, hey, that's good. But still, you know what? There's people reading that book, and there's people that's
Mhm.
going to read it down the line. You know, and
Mhm.
it's going to go on. It'll be around forever.
Mhm.
That's a legacy. You know, and
Yeah.
that's what I said. You know, you didn't have aspirations of being a billionaire. You know, writing books, that wasn't your intention, and that's fine. You know,
Yeah.
everybody has their own set goals that they want to
Mhm.
reach and meet, and that's different for everybody, and they all are fine. You know, whatever
Yeah.
makes you happy, do it.
But
But if
no
you got
matter
a book and you get it out, you know.
Exactly.
but no matter what the goal is, it still is an aim to have it done well, like done
Mhm.
professionally, like having
Yes.
all the steps taken care of, and that's where I see Heritage Link Press, being great is helping make sure no matter what your goal is, no matter what your genre is, but at the end of the road, having a quality release, and that's paramount with all those scenarios, and that's what
And
you
Yeah.
what a
do.
lot of people don't understand too, and we talk about it often, is that us small press publishers, medium press publishers, we all like talk. We know each other. We're
Mhm.
Yeah.
friends. We're colleagues. We're not competitors, right? We're
Mhm.
collaborators. We even
Uh-huh.
work, we even work together with other publishers putting out stuff. We did an anthology a few years back with Jumpmaster Press,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and so yeah, I
Fun
mean,
collaboration. Yeah, it was a fun one.
yeah, it was really fun. And so we are like that. We ain't like the big, the big six as it is
Mhm.
now,
The 5, yeah.
and just fighting against each
Uh,
other. We're not like that. We just want to help people get it
well
out and
well,
help each other.
I think the fun part of small presses too is that we can definitely take more chances, because if you look at how tough the book market is, with a large major publishing house, they have models where they have a few big sellers, and then
Right.
that drives the press, and then a lot of things underneath that don't necessarily sell so well, but a lot of things that they will bring aboard already have to have a platform. So it's almost like you have to be in a position where you're already able to sell a bunch of books before you even can get aboard one of the larger presses. It just seems to be the kind of what I'm observing right now, with a lot of them and a lot of the
Right.
people they're picking up. But what that means though is that in the small press, independent press level, there is a lot of creative, kind of stuff taking place, and that's where the risks are being taken place. That's where the innovation is taking place. So you're likely, if you have a house that's producing quality titles, that's where people, can look to find something that's different, something that's fresh,
Mhm.
something that's not like just everything else out there, not following
Right.
trends. And that's a cool aspect, I think, of smaller
Outside the
presses.
box.
Yeah, outside the
Right.
box. I
Well,
think
and I
that's a cool thing too.
yeah, and I think I know this. Like I've said, I'm old. I mean, I guess 60 is not that old. I don't feel old. I
No,
don't feel any more
I,
than 40.
I,
But
I was going to tell
I'm
you,
51 and I feel 80. So yeah,
no, we're not. I said we're not old. We're just
I'm old.
older. No, there's a
I feel
difference
old.
between older and old. There's a difference, and yeah,
well,
we're not old.
Holly, I've had both hips, my knee, and one of my shoulders replaced because of,
Well, I get you.
um, yeah, with arthritis and
Yeah.
uh, old being an athlete never pays off. But
Well,
Yeah.
bless your heart. As I said, I was a nurse for over 20 years and I have beat up my body and my back is
mhm.
shot. I just got cortisone shots in my knees because I got osteoarthritis now but I feel like $1,000,000 right now. Them shots work. So
Oh
knock
yeah,
on wood.
yeah.
Oh, they're
Well,
wonderful.
yeah, but I'm on the older side. I guess we'll
Mhm.
say that. We'll say where
Yeah. Okay.
I'm on the other side of 50.
There
And
you go.
when I talked to University Press of Kentucky and was talking to them about, some of the book ideas that I had, I knew that it was going to take me a year or two to write one or two of them. One of them. And they're like, yeah, once you submit it to us, um, after if we accept the book, our turnaround time at this point in time is between 18 and 36 months.
Yep. Hmm.
And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. For a lot of publishing houses, that's really, normal. I know that Accents, I think, is between 12 and 18 months right now. And that's
Yep.
good because that's people are paying attention and fine tooth combing it. And that's the way that, they need to operate. But with some of my clients, they're like, I am in my 70s. I don't have 3 years to wait.
Hmm.
And
Right.
we have the ability to walk through it with them over
Hmm.
the course of a few months and turn things around a lot quicker. So I think that that's a different way of looking at things. There's some people who just don't have that kind of patience, or they don't have something that they think is going to be They don't want to wait and send it to, a publisher, wait 3 months, send it to another publisher, wait 3 months, send it to another publisher, wait 3 months, or send it off to
Oh,
an
absolutely.
agent and wait for 16 months for them to say,
Mhm.
well, um,
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
So that's
Right.
another another reason for us too. We work with people and help them edit, help them get the graphics they want. And I'm kind of weird. So I come up with weird ideas and we'll go and do weird things. Like, when we were launching Heritage Press, my sons were asking me, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "All I want to do is put a red door all over Facebook and Instagram."
Mhm.
And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh, our logo's a red door. That's what you guys decided we wanted to have, was a red door. So all I'm gonna do for like 2 weeks, nothing but just a red door every day and opening soon." And
Mhm.
it just generated enough interest for us, because I didn't put any ads out there or anything. We just put it over a couple different people's places, and people started to share it, and things started to happen. And then by the time we launched it, I think without doing really anything at all except for putting out a couple of videos and putting out a couple of red doors, 10
Mhm.
15 people were calling me like, "Hey, can we make an appointment?" And I'm like, "Okay."
Mhm.
You don't have to spend a fortune to make an impact.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
But you've got a track record, and you've got your track record as an author, teacher, and everything else. So that comes into it, and certainly I feel that people be comfortable coming to you that are navigating this minefield of self publishing.
yeah,
So
I hope
for
so. I
sure.
hope.
And I love what you did though, yeah, because once people start to recognize that kind of, I call it icon or branding. I mean, yeah, it definitely gets in people's heads, and they'll know in the future. Yeah, when they see those red doors, they'll know who it is. That's a good thing for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but I noticed that I was browsing your site earlier, and I noticed that your author page does have some folks on it. So I
Mhm.
would love to bring some attention to them if that's okay. Because I noticed
Sure.
you have a Francis Strickler, Bill Carmen, and Ronnie Ferguson listed. So
Mhm.
are those folks that mentioned it? You have a book out, but are these some upcoming ones or?
Frances was one of the first clients that I had, that I helped her publish her book. She came to me as she was my mentee at the Carnegie, and we walked through her book a long way home, um, chapter
Mhm.
by chapter, over the course of probably a year. And I helped her to take it from okay to good.
Mhm.
Um, and she, once we got to good, we talked it through, and I said, "What do you want to do? Do you want to spend some more time and spend some more effort to really, really, get this to where it's Putnam level submission worthy?" She's like, "No, I want to publish it." So we went ahead and published it. We laid it out. We had somebody, a graphic designer here in Lexington named Tom Marnock, um,
Mhm.
design the cover and did a great job. And one of the gist of the story is about her great great grandfather, who was a excuse me, who was a pilot in the Civil War. And I know that sounds weird, but what he did was he was in Tennessee. He would travel to Confederate areas of Tennessee, grab people who were Union sympathizers, and then take them through the Smoky Mountains into Kentucky to sign up
Mhm.
with the Union. So he was a pilot through the mountains. And the um, the cover that Tom designed, with the guys holding like a lantern. And so we used that theme throughout the book, and we're able to sort of really pull it in together to be a really nice book. And so she was my first. She's coming back. She did her second book, Hardly a Lady,
Mhm.
that was published this year, and then she's coming back to us for her third one.
Very cool. All
Um,
right.
So what genres is it mainly? Are most your genres mainly like nonfiction? folklore, or what genres do you publish?
right now.
Right now, it seems to be narrative nonfiction. We have not had
Hmm.
anybody come to us with any fiction yet. I personally am getting ready to write since I've finished this book. Once I actually, catch up on sleep, um,
Good
I'm
luck.
gonna. You
You're
know
a
how that
publisher
goes.
now. Good luck.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, dang. Um,
Yeah.
once I get finished with get my head sort of wrapped around that, I'm going to start my first fiction book, which is Mary Sue Jenkins and the Reunion from Hell. That is based off some fun stuff that happened to me during our 40th high school reunion. Um, and then but that's going to be like I don't know, I've got all these people who are coming to me, they're like, here's these things, and right now the genre is narrative nonfiction. Bill Carmen, I mean, I didn't publish his book, he had somebody else lay that out and self-published it himself, but I did help. I edited it for him and helped him put it together in a way that all he had to do is hand it to his graphic designer, and she took care of everything. And his son actually um,
Mhm.
designed the cover. And then Ronnie is the gentleman I told you about before, that he just wanted to write a book for his grandkids. And he'd never written a book before. He'd never done anything like that before. And this was, he's 84 years old. And felt this need to tell his story. And
Mm.
since then, he's come back, and now he wants. Apparently, every year for like the past 60 years, he's written a poem to his kids and his family. So he wants me to put all of those poems together and publish them. And I'm like,
Wow.
Nice.
yeah, I'm like,
Nice.
okay.
Yeah, he's getting the bug now. He's got he's getting some titles out, so he's going to be one of those later in life success stories you watch.
Yep.
But
Right, right. And
I
his,
tell you, look at this picture. He looks like a writer. That is an
Mhm.
author photo right there,
Right,
where he's leaning up against the archway, and that looks like a older stone kind of made archway. Yeah, beautiful picture.
right.
He's got the writer look.
Yeah, and he's just, getting him to tell you stuff about himself was just like pulling, it was like pulling on an octopus leg, because he would just pull back every time. I'm like, are you telling me that you won all these awards from the chamber when you were doing this stuff? He's like, yeah, but I don't really want to talk about me. And I'm like, it's a book about you, honey.
Yeah, this.
we need we need to talk a little bit more about this.
Yep.
But yeah, yeah. So it's been, and then the one we just did was called Echoes and Angels, A Missionary's Journey by Shirley Gray, and
Hmm.
she is the one that talked about her, coming to her calling late in life.
Hmm.
Um, and her sister uh, also has pieces that now she wants me to help her with her book. So it's yeah, it's very fun. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that definitely is awesome, and that you're starting to get a roster going here, and
Mhm.
yes, fiction writers. There's a bunch of you out there listening tonight. Yeah, you need to check out Heritage Link Press, because these are good folks, and yeah, definitely can guide you through the process correctly and properly. So yeah, I hope to see this. I'm gonna have to come back and check. I want to see this author roster growing for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, very
yeah.
soon.
I,
Because
my kids are like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why wouldn't I?" And they're like, "Well, you tend not to hold back."
yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I may have to be nice to people." And they're like, "I don't know that you want to do that." But we had one guy brought me his book, and I got like 40 pages into it, and I'm like, "Okay, here's
Mhm.
the things that are wrong with it so far. Do you want me to go on?" And he was basically going and putting a chat into Chat GPT and putting the prompt in and having Chat
Oh boy.
GPT spit out a chapter, and then he was trying to link them all together and edit them all together. And I'm like, that's
Oh
not how
man.
this works, honey.
No,
Mhm.
no. You can
But
tell that stuff very quick too.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, but we need people that are willing to tell people those things, and not, as they say, blow smoke. And that's one thing that Holly is also very good at. Is yeah, definitely couching it, maybe politely a little bit, but definitely telling you what you need to hear.
Oh,
Sometimes
wait.
yeah, it
Yes.
has to
I'm supposed to be polite? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
well,
right. That's me. I know Steven said I'm like he's like Holly a little bit easier, and I'm like no, that sometimes people need to hear what they need to hear, and my opinion. And I always tell like I have certain authors that I'm their only editor, right? I'm it.
Hmm.
And they love it because I'm honest with them. I don't pull punches. I do it out of love. I want to see them
Right.
succeed. And a lot of it is my opinion. And I tell them, a lot of things I'll put, it's my opinion. You do what you want to do. You're the author. It's your voice. However, as a reader,
Hmm.
it would sound better if you would do this or this or this, but, I don't want to ever take the voice of the author away. So
Right.
that it's
Right.
a very fine line, you don't
mhm.
ever want to take the voice away, but you got to be honest. You can't just
Yeah.
blow smoke,
Yeah, you got
at
to be
people's heinies and
constructive.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm that way too. I mean, I always try to be very constructive, and when I give, those kind of feedbacks. But it's like I say, Holly. If we were doing a country, Holly would not be less ideal for the diplomacy. Let's just say
Mm,
that.
mm,
But yeah,
mm.
she's not a diplomat. but
Yeah.
I'm but
No.
yes, you do need to, yeah, even if it is kind of a harsher thing, yeah, you do need to give them the straight, because that's what they need in order to grow and correct, whatever's wrong. They've got to see the problems, so it's
Yeah.
necessary.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Those group chats about your hometown on Facebook. There's
Oh my
one.
God. Isn't the drama funny? So
Oh yeah. So there's one that I'm from Versailles, and there's one called Voices of Versailles. It's like very
uh-huh.
controversial in Versailles, which they all are.
Hmm.
And I moved back to Versailles. I was living in South Carolina. Came back to take care of my mom, and moved into Versailles. And was in on Voices of Versailles, and after a while, my sons came and they moved in with me, and my oldest son was on Voices of Versailles, and he's like, "Have you seen this?" And I'm like, "Oh no, 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 I haven't." He's like, "Why not? I thought you were on there." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got kicked off." He said, "What happened?" And it's like, I probably said something that the administrator didn't like. He goes, "What did you say?" And I'm like, I think it was
The
along the
truth.
lines of, "You're not a newspaper and you're not a nonprofit. Please stop acting like you are." And
There
he
you go.
goes, "How
Well,
long did you last?" And I'm like, I think it was like 6 months. He goes, "That long?
mhm.
That's
Yeah,
amazing."
Yeah,
we would get along very, very well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It sounds like a yep.
There's no sense of beating around the bush,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
If
there's
you
not
don't want to, if you don't want to know what I think,
Mhm.
Don't
don't
ask me.
ask.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right. That's like if you want the truth, if you don't want the truth, then ask me. Otherwise,
Yeah,
yeah, don't ask me. Don't ask me.
yeah,
If you want to hear the truth, then ask me. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
that's true.
it's fun.
That's true.
yeah, but that's us in a nutshell. I mean, I don't know if that's good,
Lovely.
bad, or indifferent, but that's
That's
No, I
us in
love
good.
a
it.
nutshell.
No, it's
Hey, your
good.
face
So
value, you don't blow smoke, and that's what people need to hear. You're like, hey, I want to
Hmm.
help you. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you this is great. If it isn't, I want to help you fix it so you can get it out there and be the best it can be. And that's all you
Yeah,
can ask
yeah,
for, right?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And we'll be honest, but we do want everybody that comes to us to succeed. We know
Right.
absolutely.
that's really the. I mean, I've spent a lifetime helping people to understand things, either as a marketer or a reporter or a teacher, and that's sort of ingrained in my DNA. But I've also spent a lot of time coming up with crazy ass ideas to make things happen. So um, there's that too. We decided when we were in Anderson it would be fun to raise money for charity because we were all bored and we were sitting around. There may have been alcoholic beverages involved, but the next thing you knew, we decided we were
Like
going
that.
to have a zombie pub crawl. We thought that there would be 20 people who would show up, and the next thing we know, there was like 60 people, all in full zombie paraphernalia, regalia, whatever, walking around from bar to bar to bar, drinking.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking when I thought, 13 bars, that's no big deal. That's fine. Everybody will have a drink. It'll be great. We did raise about
Well, next time
$2,500.
you go on a pub crawl, please call me in Lexington because I'm there. Okay, and I will go with you.
So
Yeah.
just to let you know, blah blah blah. I mean, blah 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 we've decided to start doing a little bit more events. We did a writers retreat in the spring. We're getting ready to do another one in the fall. But in May, April, May frame, when weather starts getting into that false summer thing that we get in
Mhm.
Kentucky, we're going to do a writers crawl. And
Ooh,
basically you go someplace, like we'll go to the Carnegie, and the Carnegie will tell, a story about, maybe a writer, or give some information about, why it's important to writers, or give some sort of have a writer there to give a prompt or something like that. And then we'll have, like, while we're standing there, have sweet tea and cheese straws or something. I don't know, whatever I come up with. And then there'll be 10-15 minutes that whoever is there gives the writers a prompt. We'll have 10-15 minutes to write, and then whoever wants to will share what they've written, and then we'll walk to the next place and do that all over again. So I'll go to Belle
oh my
Breezing's
God, I definitely
house.
want to do this. I seen
Yeah,
Steven had liked it, and I liked it too. But yeah, I definitely want to try our best. I want to
yeah.
do this so
And
bad.
then the goal is to end up at Nick and Norman's and see if we can get Robert Kirkland can come back and do something to talk about graphic novels as a literary genre and literary force, because my kids
Mhm.
love graphic novels and
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
anime, and they
Yeah,
are really
Mhm.
influential and really important in the literary world in my mind. I know everybody's like, oh, they're cartoons, and I'm like, I used to be like that, but
but they're not. That they're
yeah,
not.
No.
yeah,
Sandman,
No.
for instance, who I haven't read all the graphic novels, but with all the stuff with Neil Gaiman, that's another show. But
right.
I would love to. I love the series, right? But it's a graphic novel, and it's definitely not a cartoon. So
Hmm.
yeah, I
Hmm.
mean that's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
one example.
Well, that's why.
Well,
Well, that's why we have an Imagine Award for that category because, yeah,
Yeah,
we definitely. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, it's definitely
hmm,
a piece of the literary fabric for sure,
right.
and
it's
it's
Even
not a
the
comic.
story.
yeah.
It's something different.
Right. Even the storytelling and the literary arcs and all of the different things that go on within
Hmm.
video games, it is still part. You cannot do a good. I mean, The Last of Us. Holy monkey pee. I mean, the
Right?
storytelling in
Yeah.
that is just phenomenal. And if you've
Yes.
got an entire crowd of, crazy ass, disaffected millennials to start talking about the story shifts within the first season and the second season of the game, or the first whatever, not
Yeah.
season,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
The game. Yeah.
Yeah, the game. Then you have made an impact with your words. And it
Mhm.
wasn't the game playing that they were talking about. It
Nope.
was the characters and what the characters did and the
Yep.
development of those characters and the way that you felt at the end of the game about those characters. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So
The
I'm sorry.
emotional attachment you got, the emotional, yeah,
Yeah.
upheaval that you felt, and that's why, just like an Imaginarium, we have a game element to
Mhm.
that because we like to give our game, um, developers the the ability to show their games and show because a lot of people take their graphic novels or even novels and turn them into games, or it
Mhm.
started out as a game but then they write a novel
Right.
with the game. Silent Hill was another one.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know just
Right.
phenomenal. Somebody has to write the characters. Somebody has to write the storyline. Some, you've got writers behind every one of those games.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you have no idea what the kind of conversations in the office were between me and Cav when he said that he wanted to go to the gaming part. And I'm like, I don't think that I'm paying you to go play video games. I didn't do that when you were.
It's not video games. Yeah.
And Cave's like, yeah, mom. Yeah. So quick question, just because I'm always curious.
Yes.
Tell me the
Sure.
top 4 books that you are reading right now, because I'm always
Ooh.
reading more than one, and I'm always curious as to what people are reading.
Oh dear.
Stephen, do you want to go first? Because you have a pal and I got a pal.
Oh, well, oh God. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think because I've got right now. Reading so much nonfiction, and it's a lot of
Mhm.
stuff about technocracy, like Dark Aeon, and it's. I mean, they are nonfiction books about a lot of things about AI and futurism and what's kind of coming into play here, and so I'm reading a few things in that area that I am reading the Paulo Coelho, who I love. He did like The Alchemist and all the book. He's known for that. He's one of my favorite authors. But I'm reading his book Hippie. It's a
Mhm.
novel, and it's a really really good one. So that's the current fiction book I'm reading. But I'm reading a history. I'm reading a history on the right now on the Roman Empire as well. So it's a bit of a mishmash of things at the moment.
Exactly. As all good
Mhm.
editors and publishers and writers should be doing.
And mine right now, I'm reading the new Hunger Games, which is Sunrise on the Reaping.
Uh-huh.
I love YA. It's like my favorite. It's my fun read, right? Because I
Yeah.
can read it pretty quickly and I could enjoy it, but I savor it. I don't read them real quick. I savor it. And I'm reading Warrior Goddess, which I've been working on because I have the handbook compendium that actually goes with it that helps women, reach their inner goddess and bring it out and be strong and, admit the strength of a woman. And really good. I recommend them.
Nice.
Um, I'm also reading Letters of Victoria, Queen Victoria, her own letters that she's
Wow.
writing. And I've only about halfway into it because I savor it. I read a poem at a time, let it go, by Rebecca Cutbirth. She was a guest at Imaginarium. We love Rebecca. She's
Hmm.
also a new publisher. But Echoes of Memories of Echoskeleton.
Oh,
It's a book of
nice.
poetry by her. So
Nice.
yeah,
Very
I've got
nice.
those going.
Very nice.
It's an eclectic, yeah, all over the place. Queen
Yeah.
Victoria is my favorite queen. She will always be my queen. I believe I lived in the Victorian era at a different life. So our cats, you're gonna love this. Our cats are named Queen Victoria, Prince Albert, and then we've got Prince Leopold. So
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Born to battle dragons, forced to
Yeah.
parallel park, right?
Yeah.
there you
Um,
go.
But
yeah.
the titles, I want to get those in because my brain just kind of because I start reading and I forget the titles. But it's the last great war of antiquity, and it's about the Byzantine clash between the Byzantine Empire and the Sassanid Persians,
Good Lord.
which preceded the rise of Muhammad when he came out of he came out and kind of swept westward there. So
Hmm.
it's an interesting period of history. I love the other one's Empires and Barbarians, and that's talking about the clash between the barbarian cultures of Northern Europe and Germany and so forth with the Roman Empire, and how those led to like the current nation states, how it helped for how the modern nation states of Europe kind of formed out of that kind of mess, between clash between those two worlds. And so it's
Nice.
a fascinating book. But yeah, I want to at least give you the titles because like I'm reading them,
Yeah.
and the titles just like fizzed in my mind.
Well, and
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
also reading Steve Alton. You're reading the
The
Last
last
Meg.
Meg,
Yeah,
last
you've
Meg
had
book
it
too.
going for a
Yeah,
while.
the Paulo
Yeah.
Coelho, and then the last Meg book in Steve Alton series. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got Fever Beach by Carl Hyson, who is by far the funniest and most poignant satirist on the face of the planet. And he's from Miami, wrote at the Miami Tribune. So yeah, he was with Dave Barry. The two men I think are just two of the funniest people I've ever read in my entire life.
Oh,
But
Dave Barry, yes.
Dave Barry, yeah.
Agreed,
So
100%.
yeah, so Carl Hyson, I mean, Fever Beach and Squeeze Me are just absolutely hilarious. And his first couple of books, Monkey Business and um, there's a couple, Sick Puppy, and a couple of other ones. They just, I mean, they're giggle out loud funny, but they're funny in a really adult way. And then the Bellwether Rhapsody by Kate Racula. It's kind of like a 90s high school band meets the hotel at The Shining. Really fun.
Ooh.
And then the Eric Larson, who is by far my favorite nonfiction author. I've got Demon of Unrest, which is about the beginning of the Civil War. Then he did in the Garden of the Beast, which was about the United States Secretary of State in Germany, the rise of the Third Reich, which was amazing. Whenever I teach about nonfiction writing, I tell people that they need to read his Dead Wake. It has some of the most amazing description and such tight writing that you're just like, holy monkey pee, how long did it take him to get this down in such a, I mean, there's not a wasted word in that entire 370 page book. And then, of course, Lee Child's newest Reacher novel, In Too Deep, because that's just like,
Yeah.
That's
Good
just
stuff.
like candy. It's just like candy.
Yeah.
That you
Absolutely
can
fun.
chew on and like a cigar.
Absolutely.
But yeah. I feel like I've taken over your podcast. I apologize.
No, that's fine. That's what
No,
we're
that's
here
the whole
for.
idea.
That's the whole idea. It's to have you take over. You're the featured guest, and we hope you take over more as you grow with Heritage Link Press. Of course, your own work, and definitely want to have you back talk about your fiction project when it's ready for sure. So yeah, for you as an author, but yeah, we definitely want to follow Heritage Link Press and the progress you're on, and I want to point out to the listeners, you do have two social medias listed on your site. You are on Facebook and Instagram, from what I can see so far. So
yeah, we have my own personal. We will not be on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it this week. And I don't know how to do. I mean, no, I don't want to sound stupid. It's not that I don't know how to do Blue Sky or WhatsApp or Snapchat or any of the other stuff. I don't have the freaking time.
Yeah, it's a monster. We have to do it. We have to do it for Imaginarium, and I'll have to keep up with all these. And it's like, oh god, yeah, you have to compartmentalize for sure. But otherwise, you get spread thin. But yeah, I just want to make sure people knew that you do have some socials you can follow. And I do want to point out again, your site is heritagelinkpress.com. So the website's heritagelinkpress.com, and definitely a nice site, easy to navigate.
If you and if anybody's interested, they're more than welcome to sign up for subscribe to the newsletter. We'll start putting out every other week at this point in time, newsletters that are going to have not just what we're doing, but tips and thoughts and about writing from me and from other people, just to, I don't want to just put crap out there that says, oh, look how great we are. I want it to be useful, and I want people to sit there. I tell people all the time, whenever you get done with your manuscript, go through, look at the word count, cut 10% immediately. Then go in and cut out every that and there, and then go out and get rid of every ly word. And people look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm like, listen, I've been doing this.
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many editors I've had, and the good ones have told me exactly that.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah.
It's easy to write long. It's hard to write short.
Right.
I'm signing up right now, as a matter of fact. I have signed up for your newsletter while we're on the air. Yes.
You are awesome. Well, and I am looking forward to next year's Imaginarium,
Oh,
and I
thank
will
you.
keep you all up to date. And if
Please do.
if anybody else is interested, the Carnegie is having their Carnegie Classics this year. It's going to be The Wizard of Oz. If you don't know about the Carnegie Classics, they take a classic book and then they have an evening filled with food, alcohol if you want it, entertainment all around that book. So this year it's Wizard of Oz. Last year it was Murder on the
Fun.
Orient Express. The year before that, it was Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? So I'm going to be reading that book because, I don't have anything else to do. I'm going to be reading that book. And then, we've tried the people from blah, blah, blah. We will all be getting together, going as a group. I'm going to try and figure out how to dress up like Mrs. Gooch. She was the woman on the bicycle. I don't know how I can attach a bicycle, the front of a bicycle, to a dress, but we'll figure that out. But the people at the Carnegie Classics, when they come last year at Murder of the Orient Express, there was this one woman who had this gorgeous white dress on, and then it had this big streak of blood going all down the bottom of it with a train going in it, like the
Ooh,
Murder on the
fun.
Yeah, I mean, everybody dresses up. We were all dressed up like 1920s or 30s or whatever it was. So it's a really fun time. The money goes back to the Carnegie. It's $65 for dinner, booze, and all the entertainment. So it'll be a great time if anybody's interested. It's at the Carnegie Center Lex.org, carnegielex.org. I should know the URL for that. I'm sorry. I should have figured that out before I started talking.
No,
Thanks.
it is carnegiecenterlex.org. You are
Yeah,
correct.
I was right.
Carnegiecenterlex.org. Yeah, you are correct.
Yeah, and we will let you know when we do the writers walk as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I knew it'd be a great show. I already knew that because we loved having you on before, and definitely looking forward to following everything with Heritage Link Press, and we'll definitely be in touch very regularly. We'll be keeping up with you for sure. But appreciate your time tonight, Liz. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I apologize for hijacking the show.
Oh, you
No,
did.
that's the whole idea. You're the guest.
Yeah, we want you to. We want our guests to do that. That's exactly what we want.
This is why my kids don't like to talk to me about writing or reading. They're like, "Mom, you just won't shut up."
That's what our show's for.
Yeah, audio podcasts need talking. Yeah, they really
Yes,
do.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
I'm like, if you want that, you talk about these are the things that turn us on, right? These are the passions that we have.
That's
So,
right. That's
Exactly.
right.
all right. Well, thank you so much for having me
You're
on.
welcome.
Thank you, darling, and I hope we see you at the Writers Crawl. We will
Yep,
try our best
and
to be there.
see you sooner than later. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds great.
All right. Take care. And Holly, you want to wrap us
Thank you,
up tonight?
darling.
It's been a great
Yes,
show.
thank you for being a great guest. We'll be in touch. And next Wednesday, join us same place, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Another great guest, another great chat for the rest of the week. Be creative. Good night, all.